But
What's going on? I got everything set up now, and then we can finally start. Talk of the Empires, episode number 3, with me and Alfred, Zero Empires today without a webcam, and special guest, Fob Memb.
What's up, Nearly? But if you tell me before that Zach wasn't going to be with webcam, maybe I don't accept the offer. I wanted to be with Zach also in the webcam. What is this, Zach? But thank you for having me, really.
yeah, sorry I let you down. But at the moment, my room's a bit upside down because my bed broke, and didn't really want to have that on the webcam. So anyway,
Well,
we
you
should
could
be
do
all
it.
good.
But you could do exactly what I did. You cannot imagine what is behind that green screen that I have there. You see the green screen there?
Yeah.
Imagine what. And now I'm talking serious. It's a disaster. My
Do we
room
want
is.
to know? Do we want to know what's behind there?
It's a disaster. It's absolutely disaster.
Body bags.
Well,
you know.
I just got this, and it was here on the floor. So imagine what is behind. A lot of cables, a lot of stuff for computers. Wow, a disaster, total disaster.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wanted to say, looking at the topics for this episode's discussion, I think we're going to have quite a lot of interesting things to talk about. Maybe one of the most, I would say, drama topics in some of these things. But let's see how it goes.
Well, yeah, I have seen the topics. I said Nearly before coming. Well, Nearly, don't worry. I am your guest. I'm not going to put any forbidden topic or anything. Talk about what you want. And when I see the topics, I say, well, I should put some forbidden topics, really, because I don't feel so comfortable with some of them. But I will try to go straight, like I always do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, but Zach, after the second episode, even asked me, nearly, are we trying to avoid, difficult topics, salty topics? And I said, no, we don't, but it never came up. But it seems like today we might have something more in that direction.
I felt like we should talk about some of the more dangerous topics out there as well, because otherwise, it's not going to be a true Age of Empires talk show without some drama stuff anyway. So
True.
we got to include something, surely.
Well, and if it's is the actual stuff going on, way to avoid. We have to go for everything, right?
Yeah.
Age of Empires is not only the tournament; it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then I would say let's jump into topic number 1, which is Woobly Official Community Team Disbanding. So let me tell you something about Woobly Official. Woobly Official was a stream, or is a stream, which ran from 2012 till now, maybe 2013, and was basically carried by Katsuni and Memb for a lot of years. Then some unfortunate things happened with WSVG and Taft, Jeanette, back and forth, and therefore Membrillo and Katsuni kind of went not to cast for Woobly Official anymore. And then a team took over. A team of, let me see, I wrote it down somewhere. Ah, we have it here. It was Pumuckl, Clemenslor, Dave, Milmano, Nonsensical, Nimino, PRV Limp, Robo, SMB, T90, and me. And it kind of got worse and worse, and the feedback wasn't great, the cooperation with Woobly wasn't great, and therefore the team decided to do something different, and they had the biggest esports content over the years, for sure. Covered WSVG, covered all of, how was it called? Man, the tournament, 160k.
The Clammaster.
No. War is coming.
War is coming.
War is coming.
Clash of the
War is
Titans.
coming, yeah.
Clash of the Titans. They had all the Nations Cup, and now they kind of run out
All the top expert leagues.
All topics
as well.
yeah, exactly. Like Memb and Katsuni covered this channel for endless amounts. Had lots of subscribers, biggest follower base at that time. It was before ZeroEmpires in T90 started, before Memb went onto his part, and now they kind of got away. And Memb, I will ask you the first question. You were like one of the first ones to respond to the thread, or in the topic, when they said, okay, we won't continue with that, and you said, what a sad day for ASC. Your comments.
It's a sad day for AOC because I started bad with SMB because I am a guy with a strong character, and when some things happen, sometimes I do not contain my blood, my spell is blood, if we can call like this, and he know everything about that. But we solved completely, and after that, and since both I think we are grown men and really mature, even if I look sometimes completely the opposite in my channel, but we are. And I think SMB, it's well, I say SMB because it's with the guy I've got more contact. I have talked also with PRB Lim as well, but with him and also with Pumukal, I think he was great for Publi Official, because if you check, Publi Official was getting less activity than when Katsuni and me were there, and you check, for example, the YouTube channel, and with less activity, less videos there upload, they got probably the most increase with subscribers, for example. I mean, so something good, it was done. I think it's bad because to make a team, it costs a lot. It is really costs a lot, and I think they did a good job with the Clan Master. You were there in China, so the tournament was covered, and they opened the stream, which, in my opinion, I think is a good thing. I could also stream, and whoever wanted to stream could stream. And if you break a team or if you make this happen, I don't know. It's really complicated. You start now from zero again without anything. And what I don't like it from this, it's that I don't know a lot of details. Is that the next day they announce a new tournament that is going to be a stream for Bully Official. For me, it was like a shock. It was like, so a team go bye-bye like this, and then the next day a tournament happened. Well, I don't know. Well, what I know is that I feel really pity what happened with us. I never talk really with you, Nelly, too much, or with Zach, never also. But when what happened, Katsuni and me were spending in Bully Official so many hours, and what happened with the Maldives, for me was bad. But I think for Katsuni was even worse, you know? And because he created that channel. Then I went with him, but Katsuni was doing all that channel. And I know that Katsuni, after that, he never feel the same anymore. And some things that happened with Katsuni as well in the past was related to that, because when you put so much time and so much effort there, and things like this happen, it's bad. Then with these guys that have done a lot of work, because you know, guys, how much it costs to organize a tournament, and they were organizing the Clan Master, PRB Limb, doing all the job they did, and they have to leave, because if they left, I don't know if they left, they were forced to leave, I don't know, because I don't know the details.
Well, that's something that I would like to just really quickly bring up, because Milford listed all the people in this team, and it's a lot of people. It's not like one or two people who have just got too much going on to do this stuff. It's a lot of people involved in the team, and it seems strange that the whole team is going to disband because, according to the post, people have too many other commitments now. I understand, okay, if out of this team of 10 people, 2 people are now too busy to do stuff and organize stuff, but I don't really understand why the whole team has broke apart, because everybody seems to be, preoccupied with other things. I don't know if everyone's now going to split and do their own projects or something, but like you said, it's very strange that as soon as the team splits apart, the next day there's a tournament announced.
Okay.
And it will be on the Voobly channels and all those things.
So three things. the next tournament announced would be my next topic, like future of Will Be Official, and that was kind of weird as well. And I will just quickly recap what happened in WSBG Maldives later on, and what are the people doing now. So obviously T90 was not super involved. He has his own channel. Dave wasn't that much into it. He was more of a feedback giver. Helen, so Nonsensical, and PRV Limp are taking full care of the Next Nations Cup. So they're like put into that. And so everyone is a bit like disbanding, but they find their places. Like Nimano, not really sure. Nimano will do admin stuff as well, and he has AE2 calendar and such. And so it is surprising that so many people were... I don't want to go too much into detail, but it was like the whole team didn't feel like they had a great project they could push forward now.
Yeah, I'd like to just really bring up something about, a community team and people who are doing it as volunteers. It's, as you said, Memb, a huge amount of effort and a huge amount of time that has to go into organizing events and all of the things that happen around it. It's very, very time consuming. It's very taxing. And when you rely on people who are basically volunteers to do it, there's no guarantee that they're going to be there all of the time to do this kind of stuff and have the commitment to do it for however long it might take. Let's not forget that a lot of these events are many months long. And so I think it's very difficult to find people who are volunteering to have that kind of commitment. So I guess maybe it's a case of, okay, well, 2 or 3 of the major people involved are now doing other stuff. And so everybody else kind of feels like the burden is too heavy, I guess, for them to all pick up the slack, I suppose.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know what to add, because these topics really feel uncomfortable, not good, because I spend a lot of hours, and probably people know me thanks to Bully. What I wish, and I really wish, is that they can fix the things if there is something to fix. If they don't, I just really hope that the Bully like platform, of course, and the Bully official channel is needed for AOC community, and I hope that they do something good. I don't know how, but it's not my business anymore, and hopefully, really, that they can fix everything, because it's really important for AOC that they are still doing well.
Do you still think so? Like, is it important to have Woobly official?
It depends. I mean, the thing is, Woobly and Woobly official is the same, because I think it's not the same.
It's not the same, no.
I mean, Woobly is a platform and Woobly official is a channel. I mean, is need the Woobly platform to have the Woobly official? I don't know if it's needed or not. What is needed for me is Woobly. Yeah. Woobly is really needed, because to play the original game, no doubt this is the best place to play. That's for sure. HD is different. I mean, HD is playing on Steam. You are talking now about the original game or the Woobly, and of course it's the best place to play with user patch, with all the stuff they do. You can do anything. You can set up your game however you want. You can put mod music. You can put the hippo, right, the elephant there in the game, whatever you want, and that's really cool, no? I mean, all you want to do. So, well, I hope so that everything is going to be well for the future for Bully, really, because when you are being part, at least me, from something like Bully, and I was really part. I always look it with good feelings. Not, I don't know how to say in English when it's the opposite. Like with grudge, it's say something like this. Yeah, is the word? Yeah. Well, I'm not like that. So I hope that it's gonna be all good.
Okay.
I mean, I would just offer my perspective, and that's that it's very difficult to find the right people to stream, to organize events, and to put the time in to do that kind of stuff. Nowadays, we've seen a split where, you, for example, stream on your own channel, and that's where you would prefer to stream. And I think it's the same with, for example, T90 or myself or Resonance 22 or whoever is streaming. Now, obviously, with the community team breaking apart, my question really is going to be, well, who will step in and organize events and do all of this stuff for the Voobly official channel? Because from my experience, there's very few people in the community who put in much time for free to organize events and do these kind of things. It's not something that many people do or even have the ability to do.
Well, you confuse a bit like what AOC Zone does. For example, AOC Zone did organize the Nations Cup, and Voobly Official did stream it. But that's two different things now. So there will be people who were in the community team organizing the next Nations Cup, but have nothing to do with streaming. So it will be, like, I predict it will be open streaming organized on AOC Zone.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the thing is, like, in the past, Voobly tournaments or, were organized by Voobly members or members of the Voobly team. And then they were streamed on Voobly Official. So let's take a look at War is Coming, for example. That was organized by, I would call it like the Voobly team. And then it was streamed on Voobly. And it was kind of like a closed thing. So what I'm saying now is that now there's no community team to do that. Events that are organized specifically for Voobly Official, is that going to happen? Or is it just going to continue to be open streaming like we've seen in the last year?
That's exactly the next topic for future of Voobly Official. So I will wrap up WSVG and then we can go into the future of Voobly Official. So
sure.
Memb and Kitsune in 2000 and when was it? 13, 14?
13. Was 13, 14 until 15 October.
Yeah. Where, let's call it like 30 to 70, 60 hours a week, putting of their time onto streaming on Voobly Official. And they covered every event, every game, every day for so many hours. The channel, from basically totally unknown, exploded to over 10,000 followers, nice amount of subscribers. People loved them. And then in October 2015.
But I want to interrupt you just a second, because I want to tell you that Kitsune and me, when we were streaming that, we will never push him to stream. And I want to explain now that we are talking about this topic. TAF always was asking to Kitsune and me, and Kitsune also a lot of time was telling to TAF, if someone else want to stream, let it be, they can stream. But back in the days, Kitsune got by far the best quality in the stream, right? Because now people has improved all the streams, better connections, etc, right? And for the reason, whatever reason, that is a question for TAF. TAF was asking to Kitsune most of the times, and to me, right? Because me, for example, I was co-casting most of the times. I didn't have the connection till April, May 2015. Then I started to casting a lot as well on Voobly. But Kitsune was doing all that job, and I was streaming mostly, for example, in late nights. I covered the final from the Nations Cup full 1 a.m. my time till 7 a.m. for example. So we were doing crazy a lot of hours, but I wanted to put to really let people know that we wasn't like, hey, we want to stream. If Richard, if there is Helene or whoever wanted to stream, we stream and not them. No, it was TAF decision 90% of the time. And who know how it was running this, people know that TAF was the boss completely. Is what I wanted to tell. Sorry that I interrupted you.
No, it's all good. And Nations Cup final had 10 minutes delay. It had to be the worst cast ever. I know I wasn't the flight.
I had 10-minute delay during these 7 hours in the night, exactly. Yeah. With all the games. So you can imagine how long was that night. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Then we had October 2015. There was an offline event on the Maldives. $10,000 1v1 tournament. Top 8 players: Jordan, Viper, Ryut. Everyone going there: Dogao, Mr. Yo, Jinghua, Loija, and someone else I missed. Not important. And so maybe I named 8. And WSVG is a firm, like they organize tournaments, and they already went broke once. And then they got back and said they had like a huge sponsor deal of 3.5 million and wanted to get huge now. And suddenly they got into a cooperation with Vubli and Age of Empires. And they said, okay, we will, like, the money for the tournament was paid by the Tyrant sponsor, or more like the Tyrant sponsor paid Jeanette, Nelson, and Tev for Clan Masters, and they gave their money to that tournament. And so they never received any money in for that tournament. And yeah, then we had that big tournament coming up, and Vubli official would cover it, and Tev said, okay, Memb or Katsuni will go as our main caster, because WSVG said, okay, we have one guy, one caster, we will fly in. And Tev said, okay, it will be Katsuni. Then they said, okay, we have 2 casters. Then they said, okay, we will send Memb. Then I, as a person who wasn't streaming that much co-casting, said, I, in my life, don't want to miss that event. I will pay on my own, we'll fly there. And then it got super shady with WSVG, and they didn't pay any flights. And so Memb didn't get a flight. No one except me actually had a flight like 4 days ahead, because everyone was waiting for WSVG to pay and book. And so all the other stuff guys just booked it, and Memb and Katsuni got never an answer that their flights weren't booked till 3rd day of the event. Tev was screaming at them, he was crying, he felt so bad for Memb and Zach and Memb and Katsuni, and it really broke the heart of a lot of people, and the community was super split, and a lot of bad words came out, and from then on it all went into different directions. And yeah, I for this moment still feel super bad, because me going there and then I was the guy casting was probably the guy out of this misery, was the guy who had the biggest profit, and I still feel pretty shady about that. But
I just want to say, though, I mean, there should have been so many red flags about WSVG from the start anyway. So many people very early on in the announcement of WSVG could clearly see that the event looked shady, the organization of it looked dodgy, and it's no surprise that in the end it turned out that way. As bad as it might be, a lot of people could see it coming, and I don't want to say it was irresponsible or anything, but a lot of things could have been avoided if WSVG had kind of been vetted out a bit more, I think. I mean, I don't know exactly how WSVG is still going now. I think they're still involved in Vubli, right? From what I understand.
no.
No?
I think they don't even have a website anymore.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think WSVG is done again.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's not really any surprise, because, in my opinion, from what it looked like from the outside, WSVG it seriously, genuinely looked like money laundering. And I hate to say it, because AoE was tied up in that event, as well as a couple of other games. But that's what it looked like. And, I mean, I don't know all the details, but it was bad. It was very bad.
Do you want to tell something about that?
No, I don't want to add anything else. I'm just saying that's what it looks like from the outside.
No, I mean, I'm like, to Nili, do you want I say something about that earthquake?
WSVG did some mistakes, but most of it honestly was the Maldives. Like, they did so incredible moves. Like, let me think of something. Flights, for example. There was an organization who came to WSVG and said, okay, now we like your project. Let's we will book all your flights. Just give us the money and we will give you a 20% discount. Just do a small sponsor, like a small banner for us. And WSPG was like super happy. Like, sweet, 20% discount for 100 flights. That's super sweet. Just send them the money. And like 1 month before the event was happening, they said, yeah, we didn't book any flights and we won't give you the money. We will keep 80% cancellation fee. And they didn't book a single flight, and 80% of all the money was done from all the flights. And then WSPG said, yeah, obviously we will sue you now. And they said, yeah, try to sue Maldives company and Maldives law. Good luck. And they didn't even try, from what I heard. But it was super shady. Like the island. There was like, obviously all the casters should live there and all the players. Didn't happen. They didn't allow that. We should get a free ferry ride. Was allowed 1 day before, all cancelled. WSPG had to pay everything. Then like so many super shady things. Everything was built up and the event was starting on Monday and they had everything on the island built up, and then on Friday they said, okay, no, we have another event in the venue at Saturday, get everything off. And they said, okay, super shady by you, but okay, we will just deconstruct everything. And then they said, no, it's a big event, we want to get everything off the island. So they shipped everything on the island, built it, then got everything off the island, and 1 day before they got everything on the island again to reconstruct it. It was so bad. And well, I don't want to go. I think we could do another special for WSVG Maldives. Like, it was a catastrophe. What? A catastrophe? Like it
catastrophe.
Was catastrophe. Yeah.
I feel good. I feel good, Nelly, when someone have problems with the English, man. I feel nice, because I'm not the only one. So that's really good, man.
Okay. So
no, but really, about that, I mean, people is telling something in the chat.
Okay.
I'm not. Of course, I'm not happy when I remember this stuff.
Yeah.
But really, this is pass of public official, and I just hope that is not going to happen to anyone, really. So because just put in the position of Kesunia and me that we didn't get any news about that. But I think talking about this is not going to help, really, because it was something really, really bad experience. It was really bad organized, like Zach was telling. But why Kesunia and me left wasn't for that. So it's no point to. I don't want to go into it. Future of public official. I don't know, man. I don't know what is going to be the future. And it's going to be related public official with closing again the events. Will be open. Will be what? Will be transparent.
Wow.
And because transparency, but transparency need to be, for me, is really important. Do what you want, but at least tell the truth.
Okay, so now future will be official. It seems like Jeanette is taking over at the moment, and he is hosting the balancing patch tournament. And yeah, when it comes to open streaming, how is it at the moment? You're allowed to stream if you don't have a sub button, but you're only allowed to stream till the last 6, and you're allowed to stream your point of view, but only till the last 6 as well. That's right?
Yeah, I think I don't know who's behind the channel now. I think from what has been said so far that it's Chris who is behind it.
Okay.
Chris at Voobly, the guy who we were supposed to talk to and get into contact with about streaming for the event. This is EGC we're talking about. But I don't know, because it's not very clear at all. And even after speaking with him, it's still not entirely clear what's actually going on behind the scenes. But he was the guy we were told to talk to regarding anything streaming related for this event. Now, as far as the event organization goes, that's clearly not being ran by him. That is being ran by Jeanette, Geraldo, and Carlos Ferdinand, I believe. They're the three moderators on the sub-forum.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking last night with Carlos Ferdinand because I was streaming in late night, and then I saw Stark in a room, and the title was 2.1k. Then I joined it because I wanted to cast in to see, wow, what is a star? What is going to play 1v1? Then the title changed and he put a password and gave me the password. And I asked, why'd you put the password? Well, what is this? It was a tournament. Then I was asking to Carlos Ferdinand about the tournament and he told me that he has nothing to do with the streaming policy. It's the only information I know. So I guess that who decide about that, it might be Jeanette. Because as far as I know, the event is also not a Bubbly official event. So that tournament, I don't know if what you need to stream or not, if you need to the subscriber button or not. But yeah, it's still not clear.
Well, I think it's clear. If you have a subscriber button, you're not allowed to cast unless you pay $150. I think that's what I heard. You can buy and honestly, that sounds harsh, but I have a weird opinion about that, and a lot of people will disagree with me. But in all the top sports, that's how it works. There is someone who is doing organization.
Yeah. Sorry, just to break you off there, because I understand what you're about to say, but it's not the same at all, because nobody owns a sport. Nobody owns football, nobody owns rugby, nobody owns tennis, whatever. You can do what you like with those games because they're just a set of rules that's owned by everybody. The problem is if you're trying to sell something, the rights to something, you have to own that thing. And obviously, Voobly don't own Age of Empires 2, and that's where there could be an issue going forward if they try and go down this route. Now, I have said before, I think streaming, like selling broadcasting rights, it's something that is done in normal sport and is done in media, and there's nothing wrong with it as a business model. It's just the question of how it's done right now. And my biggest concern at the moment is there's literally no documentation, there's no framework. How is a streamer who is being basically told via Skype how it's going to be, how are they going to know that they're not getting screwed over? Or how do they know that the other people are being given the same deal? How do they know that they're not, how do they know the money is going to be paid to the right place? There's so many questions, and there's not really a lot out there that really covers that information at the moment.
Yeah, and there were endless amount of questions in that direction on the forums, but they were all deleted on Voobly Official. And not on Voobly Official, on AOC's though. There were 25 posts deleted, and who asked what is going on with streaming, what's going on, and then later on there came an announcement. Those are the guys who are allowed to stream and only till then.
Yeah,
I have nothing to say about all this topic, really. I mean, I'm not objective also. I mean, because I'm really involved about it, so it's hard for me to talk about this topic. And actually, the only thing I'm going to say is that the guy who is organizing that has me on ignored list on Bubbly. So what can I say? What else I can say?
Okay.
But I think someone in the chat said that they would like to hear what Nopford was going to say before I interjected. So I think it's fair if you continue what you were saying, because I know what you're going to say, but I think it's fair to say it for the benefit of everybody else here as well, which is your opinion on actually selling broadcast rights as a whole.
Yeah, you actually anticipated it pretty well. There's someone who's putting a lot of work into getting the players, getting the prize pool, getting all the stuff, and then someone else is making money and taking profit from streaming it. And so you just take a share of that, for your work. But, so I personally think it's not that bad, and it especially is good when all the streaming rights sold would go into the prize pool. I'm not sure if that would have been the case, but I know, and I already got for that belief I already got lots of critics from other streamers, but I think it's not like out of the world.
And not only that, if you have to pay for streaming, I guess that, and I was talking all the day with Sax, if you have to pay for streaming, it's fine. I mean, it's not like a disaster. I mean, what you are not going to, it depends also how much, no? But there are also a lot of more things to take in consideration. Then the players have to schedule with you too, because if you pay for have the right of streaming, you cannot go and say, okay, for example, I don't know, one match, whatever, Fire versus NBL, let's play in 3 hours. And they play, and the streamers what?
Yeah, it has to be better then. They have to not allow players to play the matches without like 48 hours announcement and such.
Or something. For example, a lot of things that they have to be organized, completely organized and more professional, because when you involve money, because it's like this, if you involve money, a lot of factors, you have to make this professional way, not amateur.
You have to deliver something for the streamers. I totally agree.
But this is what I was saying about having some kind of a framework. Like, if I were to pay $150 to PayPal to have this streaming right, how do I know that I'm not going to get kicked out of the room? Is there a contract in place? Is there, it has to be more formal than this, because otherwise it just isn't going to work, in my opinion. Yeah. We've already seen this huge topic, and I don't really want to go into this. And, I don't believe that money was stolen, but there was this huge topic about mismanagement of funds in the past. And how do I know that that's not going to happen again? Or all of these things come up. And when it's being organized through private message or whatever, I don't agree with that, in my opinion.
Yeah. So what Zach is referring to, Woobly Official was like existing, as we said, from like 2013, and had some income, like advertisements, donations, subscriptions, and like there are different people who had access to the money, and now there's a lot of finger pointing in what direction, because money might be missing. Let's say it that way.
Yeah. So there's nothing concrete about that. There's no evidence that there is anything missing or anything wrong has happened. I just think that the point is, really, the bottom line is that it has to be managed properly. It has to be done right in order for it to work. And I don't disagree. I should be a bit clearer. I do think that selling streaming rights is not a bad thing. I do think it is a viable business model or a way to earn funds for your tournament, but it has to be done correctly. The streamers have to know what they're getting, has to be clear, it has to be written, and none of that is in place right now. So, yeah.
And Zach, if you have to pay for streaming, all pay or nobody, I mean, because I don't get it why some channel has to pay and why some other channels don't have to pay. Yeah. I mean,
the argument there is that the streamers who are partnered and have a sub button are earning money. But, if someone doesn't have a sub button, what if this is the thing, there's so many loopholes. What if I made a new channel and I streamed it and I don't have a sub button on this new channel? People would maybe still donate, and then I would upload it to YouTube, and then there would be revenue there. Would they allow that? And there's so many things that are brought into question there. I think it has to be a set rule across the board. I think that actually giving streamers permission to stream it for free and then charging another group of streamers is not right. I think it has to be the same.
I really think, I want just to tell that I really think this is not the philosophy that is going to get Woobly Official. I want to believe everyone. I only contact with Chris. I have never talked with Jeanette till, I don't remember the last time we talked. Probably was 1-2 months after the Maldives, so you can imagine. I am talking about 2015. And Chris, I have to believe him. He has no, why he's going to lie me? I don't think so. And I think he said the truth completely. This event is not Woobly Official event. What happens is that who is organizing this event want that it's being streamed on Woobly, and if it's other channels, it has to pay. The only thing is, maybe Woobly shouldn't agree with that, right? that's also possible, because in my opinion, and I don't know, but I have the feeling that's the reason why the community team disbanded. They didn't agree with this kind of stuff. They didn't agree with all that, and for that they gone. I'm just guessing. But if you connect everything, it makes sense. I mean, and Bubbly, I'm almost sure that if Bubbly Official organize a tournament like Bubbly Official, not like, because Bubbly Official don't, as far as I know, don't put the money for that tournament, so they don't choose the rules, but they are accepting the rules, which is not the same, but it's close. Still being a bit close, but they are not organizing the tournament, and then, well, the next step we will see what it's gonna be. But still, for this tournament that I think can be an interesting one, you have to make all clear. Well, you have said already, so I don't want to repeat because it's the same. I agree with that.
But people are making the mistake, I think, in the chat of making a parallel to football and saying, well, if FIFA organize a football event, they sell the broadcasting rights. That's true, but the point is they don't own football, and somebody else can come along and do their own tournament and sell their own broadcasting rights for football. But when you're doing that for Age of Empires 2, which is not owned by, it is owned by somebody, it's very difficult to get around the game content usage guidelines that are in place. But anyway, what I wanted to say, moving on, I think we've talked a lot about the streaming costs and broadcasting rights and stuff. The future of Voobly Official, I think they need more casters and they need more volunteers, and I think that's really where they need to increase or to work on if they want to continue with the channel and continue having regular content on the channel.
Yeah, and at the moment it's Jeanette, Nobody 41, and Katsuni actually did cast the other day.
Yeah, I'm not sure who else.
I can't name more. Marimu, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. And I just wanted to say as well that like Escape Gaming, obviously we're hosting tournaments and we're doing that kind of stuff, but we're actually doing the opposite approach. We realize that streamers are giving up their time to come and stream on the Escape channel, and in return we're paying them for their time. We're not charging them for their time, which is, I guess the difference there is that they're coming to stream on Escape AOE and not on their own channel. So there's kind of like a compensation there because, let's be honest, if Memb was to stream on his own channel and do his own coverage, he'd probably get some donations and earn some subscribers.
But I want to say, Zach, about the donations and all that stuff. I really think, even if you cover or not the tournament, when people subscribe or donate to you, I mean, to you, Zach, to me, to T90, to whoever does, it's not because of the tournament itself. Most of the times it's because they like that guy. The way they do, I mean, they like the content it provides. But, for example, when I stream tournaments, I barely, in comparison, if we talk about donations and so on, playing Black Forest, being shut up, I get more support than when I cast it. So I start to believe that people don't want me to talk, Well, I'm kidding, no? But you know what I mean? I mean, that support, people cannot count about that. And if you have followers, supporters, they do because they want to do it. You don't force to anyone. When you force people to anything, and I mean anything, they will do exactly the opposite. Because it's like this, man. I mean, if you feel free, people feel comfortable, feel good to be in one channel, in one place, in one event, whatever. And when they see that all is clear, all is going good, for example, if they let me stream a tournament in that tournament, right? And it's going great and so on. Well, probably And I did already with Master of Arabia 2 versus 2. I didn't want to go on that, but I couldn't that because I have a family. But if I feel good, people is supportive, work together. Probably if you can afford, probably you will help with for the prize pool with 100, with 200, what you can, And people that support me like my channel, personal channel, they will see it like a whole and they will say, oh man, but the event organized. And I'm sure that people that support me and donate me, they will subscribe and donate to the other channel as well. I'm sure. You know what I mean? And saying that is like shooting to my future support or donations, but I don't care about that. What I care is that people can watch whatever they want. With the with the caster they choose, they have the person. Well, with the escape that you are doing, it's happened that because we are all casting. It's not only one caster. So people can choose, they can see the diversity. Sometimes they have Neely, sometimes they have me. Tina. Of course, their personal preference, but you can still watch a lot of people there, and I think it's cool. I would like to cast in all. You know that I am a robot caster, right? So I can cast all if it's needed. But I know that not all people like to watch me casting. So it's good to have everyone. And
I think one of the points you said earlier was really important, and is that people donate to you or they subscribe to you individually because of your personality. It doesn't matter what you're streaming at the end of the day. If you're streaming Black Forest team games, if you're even playing against a computer, if you're, it doesn't matter. You could be streaming the best players in the world, but the people who are actually going to donate and the people who are actually going to support you, they're the people who will be watching no matter what. Yeah. And so that's the reason why you have the support and and all of that. It's not because of the content that you're streaming. It's because of you as an individual. And that's why if you don't pay for the broadcasting rights for this, every game counts tournament, you're still going to stream and you're still going to have support. That's the thing. Exactly.
For that, I'm not worried about that. What is a pity is that, people like to watch the AOC, they watch the game. And as much games people can watch, the tournament will be better. Because people will get more hype about it. It will get more exposed. More people will see it. Will get more publicity. There was last night 3-4 games being played, and there was 0 streamers, for example. Well, it's not my choice.
Yeah, so then let's jump kind of into that direction. So future of Wobbly Official, for us very uncertain. We think they need to get more people and especially more streamers to really continue, if I can wrap that up. So balancing patch and the tournament we just mentioned, every game counts. So 1.8k prize pool, reasonable amount of big names signing up for it, and I think they're like 6 of the top guys, I would say, but no real, we don't see real future for streaming. Or will Jeanette cast all of the finals? Like every game of the round of 6? What are we expecting there?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends if anyone purchases broadcasting rights and then they can do it as well. Or I guess it depends if they decide to change what the policy is on that. I don't know who would in that case cast the finals, but I imagine it's either going to be on Wobbly Official on just that channel, or it will be on multiple channels. The thing is, there's not really been any official word on these kind of things from the announcement threads or anything like that.
I think there has been. I think you're not allowed to stream the last 6. Like the round of 6, which are the last final and where all the money is divided.
But is that for everybody, or this is the thing. I don't recall seeing this
Honestly,
anyway.
I don't see anyone buying the rights.
Mm-hmm.
I would know. Like the only guys for Human would be profitable. RT90, don't think he will do it. Memb, don't think he will do it. You, don't think he will do it. And then we're getting slim. Like, for me, it's not like I am allowed to cast everything up to the top 6. So should I really do it? And like a lot of my viewers are like the will be official viewers already. So I will not get as many like external guys like you would. So I don't see anyone really buying it. So I think every game has to be covered by Woobly Official.
It might be. But this is what I was saying before. If nobody does buy the rights, then would they change the policy? Because they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot then. If nobody buys the rights to stream it, then it will just fall on the very few people that are left to stream on Woobly. And in that case, their tournament won't get much coverage. And surely the whole idea of this tournament is to bring exposure to the balance patch. This whole X patch thing, or sorry, not even X patch, this is the Carlos Ferdinand patch, sorry. But surely the whole idea was to bring as much exposure to this as possible and get people on the side of implementing a balance patch and making more people aware of it, making more people in favor of it. And surely the best way to do that is to have the most people streaming it and have the most influential people streaming it. So I don't know.
Will we see anyone play the balancing patch out of the tournament? Like, will actually a 1900 host balancing patch 1v1 tomorrow?
Well, nearly AOC players, AOC community, and I hope people don't get me wrong, is a bit stubborn and they don't like change. I mean, in general, I have in the game since this started, and I'm streaming for a long time ago. And as far as I can see, you try to make some little change, and people prefer play hands 1v1. Just to give an example, it's not that but you see most of the times the same stuff. And when there is some little change, well, look what happened this year with Master of Arena 4. There was a little change. Just okay, let's try to make the map a bit different. Let's start from different age. And do you remember Master of Arena 3 that we cast together, the finals?
Yeah.
Remember the hype? I think
incredible.
I think Zach also was streaming one of the games. We were together, and between he and me, we're doing almost, and also T90 I think was, but we got like 2,000 viewers for arena games.
Yeah.
Between the 3 channels. Or maybe one German, also Clemenceau was streaming in German. I don't remember. Then Master of Arena 4 this year, not even half of the viewers.
Yeah.
Well,
it didn't have the hype, but that.
I mean,
like,
the hype was, but it was broke because it was people was trying to make a change. Swiss Boy was trying to make a change in the start. And people don't react really good for the change. And I'm going to be honest. Of course, if you put 2,000 or how much is the price for this tournament? 1,800?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People will join because the price is high. But they will play the tournament and after that they won't.
Yeah. People will join.
I'm honest, but it's my feeling. I mean, well, it has happened before because it's not the first tournament. So and another thing that for me doesn't make sense, I don't know what you think, Zach, they make a X balance patch that got some interesting points. And then days after this happened, now a tournament in the previous balance patch. I don't know. I mean, you have to decide what you want, or make a patch that get things for the balance patch and from X patch, put all together and make a final patch balance to go with. I don't know.
Exactly. I think it might even make it more confusing because you've got 2 competing patches now. Or I wouldn't say competing because according to the posts I've seen, they're working together as well. But the point is there's still 2 separate balance patches. That just kind of confuses things a bit more. I don't really know where that's going to go. But like you said, if there is a decent prize pool, then of course people are going to sign up. But one thing that I wanted to add was if anyone saw the Fireside Balance chat with Viper and Tato, which was streamed on the Forgotten Empires channel, it was basically Resonance 22, Cision, Viper and Tato just talking for a bit. And one of the things that came up was about how they feel about the new civs. And both, I think Viper and Tato agreed that they really enjoy the new civs and the new balance changes on HD because it's so different. And you see these guys actually wanting to play the new civs, and you see them, even Doubt and Viper playing with the new civs without anybody telling them or without anybody giving them a prize money to play for. Of course, they're going to train for these bigger tournaments that we're hosting, but they're doing it outside of tournaments anyway. And you don't really see that with the balance patch on Voobla. You don't see the Viper and Doubt having a balance patch game on AOC, because I think people just want AOC to stay as it is, and they're happy to try new things when new civs get introduced.
Yeah, but those are like the three guys who are most open to it. Like, I got so many top players telling me Clash of the Hippo, not really sure. It's a very good idea, but I like standard AOC. And they're like Tato, Doubt, and Viper, the only ones giving me positive feedback from their own. So it was a very clever choice by Resonance and Cision to get two of those into the chat there, because they're super open, and the rest, like we had it like in Talk of the Empires 1 or something. People are so stubborn when it comes to AC, and it really hurts me, because it would be so much better if change is possible. And we had it before, like, should we change force change onto them? That's not a good idea, and so on and so on. So it's a tough thing, and I don't see the balancing patch becoming something real.
Well, for that reason, Age of Empires, the Conquerors, has some problems to grow. I mean, it is still more or less in a okay level, but it's not growing. I mean, the AOC is not growing. It's the truth. If you check all the other games, and I check, I don't have so much experience, but you see Hearthstone and a lot of games, they get updates, they get new stuff, new cards, whatever. Well, maybe even too much, right? But for that reason, you can complain that HD version doesn't have, for now, the spectator overlay, that maybe is not that smooth, but people get hyped with that with the game. They get hyped with the game because you get new civilizations. When the other day we were streaming the Escape Gaming Master 1, Zach and me, how much experience, how much games we have casted, but still we were getting surprised for some stuff that we don't know, and that is good, man. That is good, because it makes the game interesting. But we all have to get all together in that perspective. Not only the viewers, not only the casters, also the players. We have to think, hey, we want this game go to somewhere, or we want that we play 1v1 Arabia Hans forever and that's it. I don't know if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, and I think there has to come a point where if AOC wants to grow, I don't really know. I don't know if it's correct to say it's not grown, because what I find interesting is that recently you see Viper, you see T90, record high viewer numbers. We've never seen viewer numbers that high before on individual channels. And then the Escape AoE channel as well, like 5-6K viewers for these tournaments. It's a huge number, and it goes to show there are a huge number of people out there wanting to watch this kind of content. But AOC hasn't really grown much, whilst everything else has grown around it, I feel.
I was talking about AOC.
Yeah.
I mean, some people is telling that Miguel is an expert player, is there in the chat. AOC, exactly, it's a different game, but we want that AOC grow as well, because why it cannot grow? It could grow as well too. And about all this connected about Viper big numbers streaming. Well, he's now streaming. I'm sure that if he wasn't streaming probably 1 year ago, probably he would get viewers. But these numbers as well, we don't know, right? Probably with all the hype that with HD, all helps. But we have to be, in my opinion, this is just personal opinion, have to be open to make some change, but all together try to find the way to go for this path or for the other. Because if one is going from the left and other is going for the right side, we are never get in the same point.
Yeah, but I think the problem is for everybody who says we should have some change, we should try a balance patch, we should do these small balance changes to make AOC a little different, or make it more fresh. For everyone who says that, you've got another person who disagrees and says, well, I want it to stay the same. And I think that's the biggest problem, because you're never going to get the whole community to agree. The only way that everybody would play a balance patch is if it was enforced. And I don't think that would happen, and I don't think that should happen. I think, AOC has been the same for 16 years, and I think it's understandable that people want to play that game the way it is. And I don't blame them for that. And I think that's why it's fine that we're having the events on HD and we're doing stuff with HD, because we do get that variety there as well.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there was some comment because I make a joke in the chat that Neely is about to die. Hope he's not dying live. You can see, man, Neely, maybe you should have without the webcam. He's moving back because he's dying. He don't want to be. Well, about the topic. But I love LC. Well, this is my dream. This is a personal just opinion. Maybe that is not going to happen ever, but I would love to see that all the civilization, all the HD civilization will be played in Bully as well, or the opposite. I mean, not like one community or the other. I would love to see everyone in the same box, in the same place. How to do that, I don't know. I mean, and it's not, I don't have any tools or any resources to do it. But my dream, like someone that I love the Age of Empires, because I love Sims since I can't remember, I would love to see everyone together. And I hate so much the topics that I read sometimes in AOC Zone. I read because, well, you know how followers are, and they link you, right? Hey, Memb, look this, look that. And I say, okay, let's take a look. And then, did you read it? Yes, I read the first 3 lines. And what do you think? I close it. Because personally, I don't like some stuff that when I read there, I just don't like. And I barely read. So hopefully it will be a balance for everyone and not one or two sides. I would like to be all together. How? Well, then it's something that the community itself should think about that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the people who are trying to push the balance patches who need to figure out how to do it, to be honest, because you've got now 2 balance patches and it's up to them to figure it out, I think. Obviously, the community is going to give feedback, but the community is always going to have 2 sides, the people that want to change and the people who don't want to see change. And so I think they need to just make those decisions and figure that out between them, and then go forward that way. But yeah, I mean, I think we should move on maybe to the next topic, because we've been going for a while and we've got a meeting at 9:30 Upford. So we're going to have to go forward here a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go.
Speed it up. So, Escape Masters again. Escape Masters number 1 again. The same finals like Rise of Rajas. Doubt against the Viper. This time only casting.
No spoilers.
No
spoilers, Nelly. No spoilers.
Sorry. This time we only casted Rex. Everything went way more smoothly. Memb was there for the first time, casting on the qualifier day. Then we had first time Nobody 41. We had Resonance again, T90, every game ZeroEmpires. Me with switching roles, and yeah. ZeroEmpires, how happy are you with how the event went this time?
I'm really happy with how it went, actually, from a kind of viewership perspective. And a lot of people say, oh, you're too bothered about how many viewers you get. But I want to say that how important it is that we try and see some growth and that we can show to people like Nvidia or Microsoft or other sponsors how many viewers we're getting and how and why they should be interested in what we're doing. And that's basically how we got Nvidia involved, by saying, well, look, we did Battle for Angkor and we reached this many people. Why don't you come and do something with us? And of course they agreed. So from my perspective, it was great. In terms of how many viewers we had, and I was surprised. I didn't expect it would be so high, because when you look into Battle for Angkor, it was completely novel. It was a Microsoft-sponsored event. It was really hyped up. It was promoted on the Microsoft channels. It was in the game launcher, and we very nearly had the same number of viewers on the finals for Escape Gaming Masters 1 without any of that stuff. So I'm really happy with how that went, and I want to see it grow more, and I want to see it as continue to try and build on it, try and improve it. And as I said on AOC Zone recently, we will take feedback and we will just slowly but surely evolve it into something better.
Okay.
Do you want my opinion about that?
Yeah, Memb,
yes.
Sure.
Well, I really like it. I really enjoy it. And then I think well, I have streamed a lot, really a lot, even if a lot of people probably for SAC community don't know me. But I didn't have the experience to stream like a rush tournament, right? Like all in a weekend, no? And I think it's good because people get more and more hyped. More hype with long tournaments, and I like because well, you have content, you can stream more games and so on, and you have content to provide to your viewers. But long scheduling, a lot of people waiting, delays, and so on, people lose the interest. With these kind of tournaments fast and all completely well organized, and you know that day at that time the games are happening. So you can completely organize not only and also for the players, because the players, since this is well, there is some prize, but still it's not. We cannot call this like full professional, right? People can organize itself their lives way better to say, okay, I'm going to spend this weekend with the tournament, so the players will focus completely in that, and the viewers will enjoy a lot. And really, I think that point, it makes that it get a lot of viewers as well.
I just want to answer a couple of questions in the chat as well. Marauder asked if are we working on connection issues for future team game tournaments on HD? So, I mean, basically, we are in contact with Skybox and Microsoft, and it's kind of changed a bit since we started doing these events, because now they're seeing, well, actually, there's a lot of people seeing HD now. A lot of people are going to see some of these problems, and they obviously don't want that. So the pressure's definitely on, I would say, for Skybox to fix the connection issues and the bugs in HD. And from what I can tell is that the work is continuing. After the Rise of the Rajas expansion was released, I was worried they would just release it and then drop all support, but they're actually continuing to keep doing updates, and we've got some private patches to test things out with. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of going quite well. Obviously, it's still not where we want it to be, and obviously there's a lot of people who want it to be better as well. So the pressure's still being applied to Skybox to fix their game. So Jupe also asked, or Yoop said, will there be an escape events for AOC? Yes. But it's going to be more of like we're going to sponsor them for other people to organize. So, and they'll be open for streaming and all of that stuff. So like SMB or Racer or anyone who organizes events like that, I've let them know, and I've said, well, if you want to organize something, we'll give you some prize pool to do that. And we want to encourage people to take advantage of that and host some events as well in AOC.
Which is great. It's great.
I heard Clash of the Hippo could take some funding.
Yeah, well, there you go. You see, you can get some funding as well. I mean, why not?
Okay, so the Viper won again coming from the loser bracket, again against Stout. He has proven again and again that he's the best player in the world. Was it surprising to you that he won it again. Like, it's tough, best of one format, then best of three, so many random maps, no restarts, and he still every time comes up on top.
Well, I think the big talking point about the Escape Game Masters 1 was the issue with Viper and Nikov. Slam knocked the Viper down to the lower bracket, and it was a best of one between Viper and Nikov. If Nikov won, he would have knocked Viper out of the tournament. It just so happened that Nikov was winning the game, and he was about to potentially knock the Viper out, and then the game crashed to desktop and they couldn't restore. And so the admins had to make a decision on what to do. And since it was not conclusive, since Viper could have come back from the position he was in when the game crashed, they decided to make it into a best of three. And then, of course, Viper went on to win that best of three series, with Nikov taking the first game and then Viper winning the next two. So, I mean, had HD not crashed in that situation, this is why the pressure is on for Skybox, because they don't want this to be happening and people don't want to have this kind of stuff happen. If the game hadn't crashed, perhaps Nikov would have knocked the Viper out and we wouldn't have even seen him get to the grand final. But with that said, it was surprising to me to see Viper and Doubt in the final again, and it was kind of cool as well to see that they maintained their positions. And I thought Doubt played a lot better in the final of this tournament than Battle for Angkor.
Yeah, probably. And I'm not sure, I should have asked the Viper if I can say it, but I think I want to say it. The Viper actually gave $200 of his first prize to Nikov.
Yeah,
because
that was really
so bad.
Yeah, that was really honorable of him to do that. And I mean, I felt so bad for Nikov in that position. Obviously, I genuinely think the admins made the best decision for the situation to make the best of one into a best of three. But it was really nice of Viper to give Nikov that kind of consolation, I guess. And yeah, I feel like Nikov could have very easily gone on to knock the Viper out of the tournament right there.
Well, that situation, I mean, how to solve? I mean, it's impossible. I mean, who can? I mean, to put in Nikov's skin is like impossible, and to solve that situation, well, it's a best of three. Try to be the most fair possible. The most fair possible. There was no. I mean, who can believe that can happen? But because if the game is starting or the game is more or less even, and well, you restart the game and that's it. But with the game in these kind of situations, who can control that? Nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the caster, nobody.
Yeah. And Viper as well. I mean, he came back from much worse situations in later games. So it could have been that Viper will have been able to pull a comeback against Nikov. We just don't know. But yeah, it was really unfortunate that it happened. And obviously, we want to make sure that doesn't happen again.
For that situation, is the only thing that a fast tournament is bad. I mean, it's bad for the player because Nikov, the psychological factor. I mean, how he wasn't playing probably at 100% after that. I mean, he might be angry or frustrated or whatever. So I must believe so that he was like, oh man, and now he had to play. So probably he wasn't focused as well. And for that, for all those factors that Viper know, probably he did what he did as well.
Yeah,
I assume.
I think mentally it affects the players in a big way, and it would have changed the outcome, definitely. So I think that was really the main talking point of Escape Game Masters 1. I'd say the tournament was a great success overall. We saw a lot of viewers. We saw some fantastic games. We saw another final between the Viper and Doubt, and it was a lot closer. And I'm looking forward to the next one, which is Escape Game Masters 2, which is happening next weekend on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of February. And I think that's our next topic as well.
Indeed. And the format for the main event will be pretty similar, but I think there will be major change when it comes to the qualifier. Maybe you care to elaborate, Zach?
Yeah, sure. So one of the biggest feedbacks that we got about the first event was the way that the qualifier was done. Now, the bottom 4 players are immediately invited to the qualification stage. And previously we had an 8-player qualification, which meant there was only 4 open slots for new players to join. The biggest criticism or the biggest feedback was that there should be more open spots to join the event and more opportunities for people to qualify. And so we changed the format of the qualifier to allow us to have 10 open qualifier slots plus the 3 people who finished in the bottom 4 last time. Just to explain why De Gauw wasn't there, but De Gauw did sign up to the qualifier. So De Gauw finished bottom 4 in the Escape Gaming Masters 1, which means that he was invited to the second round of the qualifier for Escape Gaming Masters 2. However, De Gauw said that he was busy and he couldn't make it. So we set up the format, we posted the sign up, and then De Gauw messages me and he goes, "Oh, by the way, I can make the qualifier now." and I said, "Well, it's a little bit late to put you in round 2 because we've already set the format up, but you can sign up and you can enter into round 1 and you have to play through the whole bracket." But I'll post the qualification thread in the chat so people can see what the bracket looks like. And as you can see, we've basically added a whole new round so that gives a lot more opportunities for new open qualification spots.
Okay, but how does 10 plus 3 work?
Okay, so the way it was originally going to work was if you have a look at the bracket now.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
In row H, on the match H, that's where De Gauw would have been. And we would have removed D2. Maybe I can just post the image in the chat so people can see. This is not going to work very well for the YouTube VOD, but...
well, I will add the image.
Yeah, maybe add the image so we can see. But basically, let me know when you've got the image up, and then we can talk about it.
That wasn't professional. Bam.
Is the image there?
Yep.
Okay, so before, we only had the round of 8. We've now added the round 1 here on the left side, and these are all open spots. De Gauw would have been, where it says match H, he would have been there if he accepted the invitation, and then we would have removed D2. And basically, the first round is completely open to the people who sign up, and the winner will go through to meet in round 2 one of the bottom 4 players from the previous event. So we've basically just added that whole extra round in there before, and that allows us to basically have a lot more open slots. In this case, it's 10 open slots increased from 4.
Yeah, but it normally would have been like from 4 to 8, right? Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
It would, that's basically doubled. But in this case, in this special case, it's 10 instead of 8. Yeah,
Okay.
that's basically that. That's the big change to the event. Other than that, the event format itself is going to be the same in terms of the structure. The main event will still have the same double elimination format. The difference this time, and this is the theme for February because we're going on a bit of a theme here, it's old versus new. And we're introducing a lot of the older AOK civs, AOC civs back into the civilization pool. So the civ pool for the Escape Gaming Masters 2, we are going to see Aztecs, Huns, Britons, Mongols, and then we're going to see 6 other civs as well from the expansions. So there's basically 2 civs from AOK, 2 from AOC, 2 from AOF, 2 from AOAK, and 2 from Rise of the Rajas. We're also introducing a bunch of water maps and original maps back into the map pool. So we're going to see maps like Ghost Lake, Continental, Team Islands, and Migration, and Regicide Fortress. So it's still 10 maps in the pool, but we're seeing 5 older maps now as well. And that's going to be the old versus new theme that we're going on.
Sweet stuff. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. So that's coming up in roughly 8 days till 10 days?
Yes, starting in 8 days. And I'm going to be casting with Memb all day on Friday on the 10th of February. We're going to be doing the qualification all the way through. And as we can see, there's definitely a lot more games as well. So we're going to be starting a little bit earlier at 1 o'clock.
I want to say two things about that. The first is that you guys need to take off that Friday, because with all the games that we're going to have, you have to take the day off. And for your followers, Zach, I'm going to practice from today till the next week all my pronunciation, okay?
Oh man, I wouldn't worry about that.
I'm not worried, man. Do you think I'm worried? I'm not worried, man. Really.
Keep it up for the Spanglish.
The Spanglish will be there forever. Stay tuned. Go. I have to say, man. Go.
That's going to be happening. I think there's 13 matches for us to cast, so that's going to be a really long stream. It's going to be good as well. There's going to be a lot of great games and a real good introduction into the tournament as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. The quality stage really can get you hyped and can like build a storyline as well. Someone very unknown, for example, like Spring, sign up for the qualifier. If he makes it into the 8, if he goes into the main tournament, and that would be a total new phase there.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. With this going forward, what I would love to see is, because this is such a brutal format, being best of 1, I want to see players coming in the qualification that make it into the main event. So, like, the bottom 4 of the 8 players of the last event are like the gatekeepers. And if you manage to get past one of the gatekeepers and you get into the main event, it's good for 2 reasons. 1, you're going to win some prize money. And 2, you're going to be invited back to the qualifier second round next time with an advantage if you get into the top 8.
Yeah.
Not only that, but when you get this brutal best of 1 format, and then you've got new faces coming in, like you say, making it through the qualifier, it's going to be so much potential for an upset. And who knows, we could see one of those qualifiers making it through to the semifinals or whatever. And that would be really awesome to see. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, I even thought about like getting my like HD nick to 2.4K, my Voobly nick to 2.1K, and just get my nicks high. And then just pray like, okay, first round Miguel, second round Tito, twice best of 1. Let's go all in and put my 20% win equity on the line and see if I can make it to the main event. But yeah, I think that's still very optimistic.
Yeah, you should do it sometime though. It would be good. And obviously there's a lot of opportunities to sign up and actually play in these events because we're doing them monthly, which means that there's going to be new opportunities to qualify every single month and new opportunities for upsets. And, I'm going to be so interested to see if somebody like the Viper or Doubt, who've been in both grand finals so far, to see if they actually get knocked out of the top 4. And then they have to go through the qualification where they could actually not even make it to the main event next time. Yeah. It could all go very badly wrong. Yeah. And that's why I love this format, because it builds a storyline as the time goes on.
Yeah.
In a best of 1, anything can happen. Do you remember that game with Tatot and Backed? Sorry for Tatot, the start.
Yeah.
With that start, he was over basically.
Yeah.
I'm sorry because Tatito is there. Remember Tatito, okay? Tatito is there in the chat, and well, he know the start. He was with the Elephant, the Villiers, all going back, and that can happen to anyone. So that's great.
Exactly. Well, it's great for the players that beat Tato, but it's not so great for Tato.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Tatito, te queremos. No, but you know what I mean. Obviously, that it's great because it makes all like anything can happen. Let's tune in, because if you go for a best of 5 or best of 3, most of the people is tuning to watch like, okay, I'm watching, okay, I can go to the toilet, I can go to the kitchen, I come back and the game keep going but with this kind of format, you have to be focused completely because anything can happen anytime, and when you come back from the kitchen, it's over.
Yeah. It really can be. And I think as well that it's obviously we do have best of 3 and we do have best of 5, but that's once you get to the top 4. So all the way up until it's all the way up until the top 4 are decided, it's all best of 1. So I think that's really cool. And I think we should now move on to the 2v2 events. We're getting very close to half 9.
I want to tell about that. I mean, I love team games, but 2v2, in my opinion, for team games is excellent because usually there's a lot of action. It can be also connected with the Master of Arabia 2v2 topic. We can connect, and there is a lot of great games, and I'm sure that in that one will happen as well. So I'm really excited for that tournament. But you can go Zach about it because you probably know a lot more details than me.
So I said before the theme for February was old versus new, and that's why we're seeing the older civs and the older maps being introduced back into Escape Gaming Masters 2. But we're also going to see that theme carry on for the 2v2 event, because the old versus new theme basically means that one team will play with AOK and AOC civs, and the other team will play with expansion civs only. And that means that we're going to get to see the civs that the players are the most comfortable with, you know, your Aztecs, your Mayans, your Huns, your Vikings, playing against the new civs, which they still haven't quite learned that much about. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. And it's going to be a single elimination, best of 3 all the way down until the finals, which is going to be a best of 5. Since it's 2v2, and it's old versus new, we have to make sure that there's an opportunity for players to switch over their civilizations. So if Team A plays with the AOK AOC civs in Game 1, they have to play with the expansion civs in Game 2. And then in Game 3, it's a free-for-all in terms of what civs are picked.
Okay.
And I think this will help. This is going to be really good for the HD developers, or well, I should say the Forgotten Empires team, because it's going to help them to be able to balance the new civs. And this is something that's really important because right now it's agreed that the new civs do look overpowered. They do seem a bit too strong. And this tournament will hopefully help them to balance the civs more and give them a bit more of a reference point to do that.
Well, there will be bans for 5.2. Will the tournament be on 5.2?
I don't know.
Okay. And what else did I want to say? I think they're overpowered, but only at the start. And 2v2s are getting into the later games, so I actually think like the Forgotten Empires, African Kingdoms civs are better than the Rise of Raja civs when it comes to late games. But just my opinion.
Maybe. I mean,
8
we'll
teams?
see, won't we?
Yeah, we will see. 8 teams again?
It was 8 teams, so it's 16 players.
How will you decide to place?
There is a discussion at the moment on how that's going to be done. Robo and T West have decided that.
Okay.
We will clarify that in the sign-up topic.
Okay, sweet. And I already heard Doubt and the Viper are teaming up.
That's going to be cool. And actually, I'm interested to see who will team up and where the teams will form. I've got a feeling that Nikov and Slam might team together, but we'll see. Do you have any more information on that, Memb or Nupford, or any speculation about who might be teaming up here?
About the teams, I don't know, but I'm not sure about Nikov and Slam. I don't know because Miguel, for example, and Nikov are doing a great couple in Master of Arabia 2 versus 2. So don't get surprised that they are going to get together as well. Slam, I don't know if he's going to team up with some Tyrant or he will pick some Canadian. That maybe the communication, I don't say that it's not good communication, for example, with Bhakti, but it's Vietnam and so on. So maybe they are going to pick like this. Well, Leary and Hart are playing really, really strong, more and more lately. So let's see. I'm just guessing. Well, Miguel is in the chat. If he's stay muted, you know that I spoiled it already. If he keep muted, you know.
That's how we know if you're right or not. Yeah. I wonder if Riot will come back for this as well. Obviously, he played in Battle for Angkor, but he dropped out of Escape Gaming Masters 1. So maybe we'll see Riot come back and make a team as well. I don't know, but I'm going to be very interested to see how it goes. And apparently, according to the chat, MBL and Slam will play together.
That's something
so maybe you're right.
Expected.
MBL and Islam. Okay. I would like to see Islam and Ryut. I would like to see it together. For example, I would love to see them both together because I think their gameplay is just amazing and playing together. a really strong team, Islam and Ryut.
I just remembered another thing as well. Tim will be playing.
Sweet.
And he's going to be teaming with somebody. We don't know who Tim's teammate is going to be, but that is... I say he's going to be playing. I say he's going to sign up, rather. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, I think it was Chao Fan or Vivi, most likely, right?
Yeah, well, we will see.
It will be a Chinese player.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Chinese player. Then there's Bact. Who will Bact sign up with, maybe? If he signs up, I mean, we're just speculating.
I think he will sign up. He will... If Slam is not available, maybe he goes with Cool or ACCM.
ACCM might be a good choice. He's signed up, I think, to EGM2.
Oh, okay.
Or he signed up for Escape Game Masters 1. He's not signed up for number 2 yet.
Okay.
I think we underestimate a bit the BNS Cool. I mean, well, not we. I mean the community, and I think Cool is better player.
Than ACM, at least today, Memb, right?
Well, today was way better for sure. No, but in general, it's completely different. Nearly, 1v1 that team games. Yeah. Some people in 1v1 is really one step ahead to others, and there are other players that in team games is just the opposite. And I think, and I have seen in Nations Cup with this Cool, and he never Titanic. You know, he never play. He plays safe. He has a solid style, and that for a team game is really, really nice. And Barry, that is really, really strong back team. I think they will do a better team together than the ACCM, in my opinion.
Maybe VNS Yellow is an option as well.
Yeah.
Yellow in team games is tricky, man. He can be the best and not that good. I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky. I wanted to be polite because but he has a special style. Yellow. He can be crazy strong. Viper has a lot of trash talking with him. Noob, ass, join, and so on. But really, I think that what you want for team games, something like safer choice, right? I think Cool will be safer, but we are just speculating about it.
Yeah.
But I love 2v2 or team games in general, but for me 2v2 is one of the better formats. I'm not a huge fan of 4v4, but 2v2 is like the next step up, isn't it, from a 1v1? And it's definitely going to introduce more I guess uncertainty. It's harder to say who's a stronger 2v2 team versus who's a stronger player, because like you said, the team game is a very different kind of environment, and some players are just fantastic team game players, whereas they're not as good on their own. So it's really cool, and I'm really excited to see who signs up for this.
And to be honest, Zach, let's be realistic. I mean, we go to spend, for example, 10 hours. Casting a 4v4 without the spectator overlay. Sorry, Zach, but
that's not gonna happen.
Call someone else. I mean, I love it. Whoa, man, it's impossible, man. Well, T90, go on casting now that you are there, but
what we need for a 4v4, what we need for a 4v4 is 8 casters, one person to watch each player.
Yeah, 2v2 is still really okay. I mean, because getting the caster and the co-caster, we can control more or less all the scene going. But we need the spec overlay. Well, I wanted to ask you: do you think it's gonna be possible, or something? Maybe if you don't know what about to have a spec overlay in HD. I'm asking this because I'm getting whisper message for viewers ask to Zach, please. Going to be a spec overlay. I really think it would be a way to really improve the HD scene as well.
Well, I know that it is possible. And from what they've said on the forums, they said they might look into it and they might do it. So we'll have to wait and see. But I know that it's possible. It's just whether or not they decide to go ahead and put the time in to do it, or if they think it's actually going to work. It's one thing having it being possible, but just because something's possible doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to do or that it's worth doing. So we will see. But yeah, one more thing is that I've been told that Microsoft are going to be making their own trailer for this event. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out, because it sounds like it's going to be cool. I'm not going to say anything else, but yeah, that sounds awesome. But let's very quickly talk about Masters of Arabia 2v2. I think this is a great topic for Memb, because you've been streaming a lot of that tournament.
A lot, no?
So, yeah.
Oh,
Well, all
yeah,
of that tournament.
almost all. The only pity is the delay in the tournament. Other than that, the tournament is great because this 2v2 format is just fantastic. In my opinion, is fantastic, and we will see in the Microsoft 2v2 event. We have seen today games between ACCM Cool, Fire, and the Gal, and still a lot of games to happen. And I can tell really, really fast, all what is happening. Nikov and Miguel are waiting in the grand final, right? So they can wait there relaxed because Team BBC Fan has to face now Fire and Dogao in the round 6. In the round 6, the Viper and MBL, and hope you're still alive when we finish this interview, Nearly. Barry and Slam is a problem, man. Barry and Slam versus Ryu, Doubt, or Goku. So the winner between that will face the Viper and MBL, right? So, and in the final loser bracket is still there, like in the round 8 loser bracket, Supi and the Max are waiting. Well, just really nice, and the settings are cool. You know, they get in random civilizations in the first game. Then the second game they just switch the civilization that happened. Third game, usually in the winner bracket, it has been Hans, all Hans. You can imagine how many cabarches we have seen in those all Hans. And in the loser bracket has been if I'm not wrong, mirror civilizations. Then what I really like it in the fourth game, who is losing in the score, choose civilization first, then pick the next team, and like this till get the four civilizations, and then the last game is free pick civilization that usually is Hans, Aztecs, or Mayans. The tournament is what I'm telling you, Zach, and it's really important that the tournaments don't get delayed. If they don't get delayed, there is a lot more hype. Even like that, today was nice because it was today Thursday. It was, I would say, early for Europe. I don't know what you think, Neely.
Yeah.
And in total, I think it was around 600 viewers, which I think is really nice. So people want AOC and want tournaments. They love it, but not only the viewers, the players love it. If the format is interesting and so on, people want to play because it keeps their motivation. Let's remember, let's be realistic. This game has so many years, so people need also some motivation, and tournaments motivate people.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah,
and Master of Arabia, I couldn't be more hyped. You casted the games today, I casted the games today. They were pretty entertaining, and from there on, it only gets better. Like, for me, everyone could win the tournament here, and I wouldn't be surprised. And maybe I would be surprised if Zupi and the Max, but they actually have very good chances. So,
I think Miguel and Nikov will win. If all play in their best at their best, I think they are the best team. I have watched all the games, and I really think it's not because Miguel is there in the chat. I think people underestimate sometimes Miguel because it happens. Sometimes he's Titanic. It's the truth. He has some games that you say, oh my God, but when he play at his best, well, he saw it in this tournament. They won 4-0 to the Max and Supi.
Yeah.
But clearly, not like 4 games, over 1 hour. Playing really strong, and they have good communication. Even sorry that Nikov don't use microphone.
And Miguel doesn't either. Yeah. That's surprising. Oh God. So Master Arabia is going to be sick the upcoming weeks. Chat is going riot. They want to get some infos and thoughts about user patch 1.5. I personally didn't hear of it, so I can't comment on it at all. Any thoughts of you guys?
Sorry, I was totally zoned out there.
User patch 1.5, ZeroEmpires. Any thoughts?
User patch 1.5. So awesome stuff. I mean, there's literally nothing bad to be said about it. It's all good. And I mentioned this yesterday on my own stream, but the thing is that the user patch team have a lot of trust from the community, and people know they can trust them. User patch 1.4 was one of the best things to ever happen to Age of Empires. And I've got no doubt that when user patch 1.5 does come out, it's going to work and it's going to be good. And it's just going to do everything that they said it's going to do. And they're probably going to throw in some surprises as well. I don't know. But honestly, I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be really interesting to see the details about exactly what they've said, because they've been quite vague so far still. They've said, we're going to add some new triggers for the scenario editor. We're going to add new AI improvements, but how they're going to work, how that's actually going to impact things, that's what I'm going to be interested to see.
Sweet. Yeah, so am I, and I completely trust them as well. Like 1.4, as I said, was super nice for everyone.
Yeah, and also they said they're going to do some new networking stuff as well. I don't know how that's going to work exactly, but one of the things that I should mention briefly is that in the thread for the update thread, I think it was, they mentioned that Voobly is not using the user patch 1.4 networking, which was actually improved quite a bit over AOC. They're still using the 1.0C networking on Voobly. And my question really was, will Voobly use the 1.5, user patch 1.5 networking? Because it's supposed to be able to reduce command lag and make it run a lot smoother even still.
Okay. Say,
Well,
less command lag would be so much better for AOC and could really do a step into like serious esports. Because lots of people are messaging me like, how can someone play this game competitively when your unit is moving for 1.5 seconds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It makes it much more easy to micro if you have very low delay, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it works and whether or not it will be added into Voobly or not. Obviously, they'll add 1.5. It's just whether or not they use their networking from it.
Okay.
Or how long it takes. Anyway, yeah, I think that should wrap things up. I think we can talk about 1.5 next time when there's some more details, perhaps. It's a big topic, and I think we're overrunning a little bit as well.
Yeah. Sorry for that, Zach.
No problem.
And yeah, Memb, any last words on the topics? Thing where we cut you off, where you really want to say something?
No, well, just thank you for having me here, and hopefully that everything is looking so nice, so good. I only want to wish the best to Bubbly, really, and that everything gets solved and all can be good in the future. That's my wish, and I'm really hyped to be the next Friday, not tomorrow, the next week, and cast a lot of hours with Zach. Well, Zach, you will have to be with me a lot of hours. Sorry, man. It's what it is, man. That's
Damn it. No turning back now. I've already given you the invite.
You have to get some Spanglish as well. I will try to get some British accent, so you have to get some tatito, something like this, and we'll get a better combo together.
I tried a little bit. I did some bada booms, I think.
Nah, come on. To be honest, we never cast together. It was the first time, and come on, man. For being the first time, in my opinion, was nice, man.
Yeah, it worked well.
Yeah, it would be better probably, because when you get used to someone and you cast more and more, you will work better. I will not talk when you talk. I mean, over you and so on. But when you get, even if you do it, when you are doing that and you get excited because the game is just great, you just have to show that and you remember that 99.5%. If that happened, who the hell cares if we're talking over the other? Man,
yeah, exactly,
he's dying, man. He's dying. The TC is gone. So go crazy, man. And that's it. At least I see the game like this because I love it and I cannot change that. I can content a bit, but I cannot change that.
That TC thing, actually, I looked back over it and it turned out it was actually 98%. But, in the moment, it was 99.9%. And that's all that matters. We know that it was really 99.9%, even if the UI said it was 98,
Yeah. Crazy. Well, we love this game. That's the thing.
That's for sure. That's exactly nice closing words. Any last thoughts of you, Zach?
No, I've said everything, really. We're going to go have our meeting now.
Okay. Then
all right.
That's it for Talk of the Empire episode number 3 for this time. Which was me, Neely, ZeroEmpires, and Memb over here. And I was trying to point, but it's still reversed, and I can't really get it in my head. It's so tough for me. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. And tune in next time when it says Talk of the Empire. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.